Are you not ready to part with your shoes even though they hurt? Whether it's your favorite designer shoes or spin shoes, I totally get it. We all have a pair of shoes that we're not willing to get rid of no matter how much they pinch. Here's the roadmap for what we're going to cover in this video. First off, I'm going to give you a cheap, easy fix. It's not the best way to treat your feet, but we are all willing to suffer at least a little bit for beauty. Then I'm going to give you a little bit more expensive but more effective suggestion. Then I'm going to give you a recommendation for general toe health. Last, I'm going to give you a really cheap but simple tiny helper. I'm not going to remind you that you need to start wearing ugly shoes or healthy shoes. Okay, let's start with the cheap. The cute shoes are probably, and I mean 99% of the time, too narrow at some point of your foot. That narrowness is not about managing to squeeze in there like Cinderella's stepsisters. It's about being too narrow for all of the springiness built into your feet to move around and absorb shock the way that it's supposed to. This easy hack is a great place to start and can sometimes take the load off enough. Use this shoe stretcher to get more space. I like this extra little tab here to expand at the metatarsal region so that it doesn't squeeze your metatarsal arch as much, and it gives your toes a little bit more space. There's links below in the show notes. There are others that are designed for boots and booties, and there are all these sprays that help increase the stretch. We've tried them all. These are the ones that work the best, all linked in the show notes below. They aren't a perfect solution, but they might be the only way to make it through a wedding reception with your shoes still on. Obviously, it's better to get a shoe that fits all of your toes, but this works in a pinch, pun intended, say at a fancy dinner or wedding. If you want to go all the way, I recommend getting a flexible, minimal custom orthotic as your step 2. Look, in our office, we run people through a variety of tests, including a 3D scan to look at all 3 arches, because whether you're an athlete or you just walk around a lot, collapsed arches create a chain reaction of problems up your body. Worse, collapsed arches deteriorate over time, so you're likely to have more problems down the road. Finally, if you already have collapsed arches, this could be, and probably is, a result of being in the wrong shoes for decades. The 3D scan of all the arches lets us build you a custom insole to compensate for any imbalance between the feet. This helps our patients stay out of the office and pain-free longer. If you aren't close enough to the Bay Area to be a patient, and you don't know anyone good near you, don't give up. Call us. We can send you a mold that we can use to build you a custom orthotic. You won't get the cool multicolored scan report, but we can make the same exact product that supports you. Okay, third topic, toe health. If you aren't ready to commit to a high quality flexible insole, you can improve your arches by allowing your toes to be positioned in the right spot. For details on how to do this, check out this video, also below. If you haven't seen it, it explains why the exercises are not enough. One sentence summary if you don't want to watch it. If your toes are jammed together, you start to lose your arch. Finally, the tiny little tip. If you're not ready to invest in custom orthotics, start with a small metatarsal pad. It's a great idea for those of you who have forefoot or Morton's or metatarsalgia, because this starts to give you a little bit more space, including the space around that metatarsal arch. Bonus content. A warning. None of this will work if your walking is imbalanced. So click this video for a simple test to make sure your foot's hitting the ground evenly. Otherwise, you're jamming those joints and causing more inflammation, which will prevent you from healing. Don't give up. Let's get you back to work and back to play.